Well, good morning. Hey, it's great to be here in front of you all today. Welcome back to Lakeland Regional Airport. Obviously, it's been a tremendously busy year for us here. There's a lot of new things, a lot of new activity, and if you ask me, it's all great. And obviously, we've been working awfully hard here for everything that we've been doing to protect general aviation, sun and fun, and obviously we have our new friends with commercial service, which has been a tremendous boost to the airport and our financial status. This is actually the first year, I believe, in the last decade that we're actually going to be in the black. So we're pretty happy about that. So Wayne really didn't give it a great introduction. Obviously, when I first got here, just to let you all know, I was born in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. My dad was an airport manager for 30 years. He was up at Oshkosh from 75 to 87, and that's where I grew up. So obviously the reason I am here is because of Sun and Fun, to even look at coming to Lakeland, Florida, and to be the airport director here at this facility. And my number one job getting here, obviously I had in my sights, hey, we're going to go after some different things and look at commercial service and that type of activity. But the first thing I did when I got here was invite TSA out here to look at this event and to see what all you great people do on a year-round basis during those 6 days. Well, we were fortunate. The Assistant Federal Security Director in Tampa, his name's Dr. Lilly. He was actually my Federal Security Director at Dayton, and obviously we had an annual air show at Dayton International Airport, so he already had a good idea about air shows and what that means, and we had 100 commercial service operations a day, or 200 actually, at Dayton International Airport, moved 2.5 million people. Obviously our operations here are much smaller, but we had a very successful event every single year up there, and I saw no reason why we couldn't do the same thing here. So just kind of a recap about everything that we've done here in the last year. Obviously, if you were up in the north side of the airport last year at our great restaurant at Earhart's, you saw the terminal renovations that were going on. Those were all completed right before we started commercial service on June 23rd. Commercial service, again, started June 23rd through the December 31st. We moved 40,000 people through the terminal. Now, from January 1st through the end of April, we have another 40,000 in 4 months that we're moving through the terminal. So the service has been very successful. Obviously, we had some bumps in the roads when we got started with some aircraft issues, but we moved past that, and it's been extremely successful, and we're very happy for the partnership with Direct Air being here at the airport. Obviously, we had a tremendous amount of construction occurring as well as at the facility. So obviously, this is a slide looking at the terminal building. You have the tower, and this is our new taxiway, Juliet. And then also, I believe you can see a Gulfstream 4, our FBO. We also relocated the FBO, and we did that right before Sun and Fun last year. But just to refresh everybody's memory, we moved the FBO facilities, so they're now between hangars 1 and 2, and all the commercial service activities taking place through the terminal. Right now, on average, we have 2 departures per day, and that's basically where we'll be through the Sun and Fun event. And what's great is we worked with Direct Air. All the departures basically will depart before the NOTAM goes into effect each day. They'll come back in the afternoon. They'll be under waiver period. They'll come in, load up, and be gone, and then come back later in the afternoon after the south side is already closed for the evening. So it really should have minimal impact to anything that's going on with Sun and Fun during the 6 days. So this is just a shot of Columbia Air Services. And also we have Ken Palmer's back there, if he could raise his hand. He's the new FBO manager at Columbia Air Services. And actually, I knew Ken before he came here. He was, when I was at Branson, we built the airport out there. He was the FBO manager out there. So he loves aviation. He's been around a long, long time. He's also a former Marine, and he's just doing a great job over there for the airport and all of their customers. This is a shot of their new taxiway hotel and our giant regional pond. Obviously, last year, if you were up on the north side, or you probably saw some big diggers that were kind of below grade and probably like, what's going on over there? Well, that's our 7-acre regional pond that is now complete, and also the reconstruction of a taxiway hotel, or new taxiway hotel. And also we disconnected Alpha 4. You can see what looks like used to be a taxiway there. That was Alpha 4, and we disconnected that, and that was identified as a hot spot with the FAA, and we'll talk about that a little bit more here shortly. But that construction is complete as well. And we also now have an AWAS. You'll see out there close to the warbird ramp. We have AWAS, which we had never obviously had here before. It's a great piece of equipment, and we're excited to have that. And the phone number, 863-834-2030. Call it 24/7 and get the weather conditions when you're at home. 6 months from now, or obviously during the event as well, to see what's going on at the airport. Also, we have our solar farm. We just flipped the switch actually last week, I believe it was, or the week before. Actually, it's been running since December 22nd because I get it on my computer every day because we actually generate revenue off of this facility. This facility is built in partnership with Lakeland Electric, which is owned by the city of Lakeland, and Sun Edison. Sun Edison has come in and put a $25 million investment into this farm. This is phase one. But what it means for the airport, these are lands that we otherwise could not develop that we're protecting for the future runway extension to 927. So we generate 2 cents per kilowatt hour that's generated off of this facility. So once the full farm is completed, the airport will generate close to $250,000 in new revenues on land we could otherwise not do anything with. So that's a tremendous benefit to us. Also, it will not affect any pilots out there flying in and out. We did glare analysis. We had to have all of this approved by the FAA, and there should be no issues whatsoever. Because that question comes up quite a bit. And there are other installations, obviously, around the country at other airports, but this is the first installation in the Southeast and also east of the Mississippi at any airport in the country, or east of the Mississippi, so we're proud of that. Also, we have the Black Diamond Jet Team is now based here at Lakeland Linder Regional Airport. We had been working with them for well over a year to get them here. They had been looking for space. Obviously, I think we won them over last year when we had this little thing called a tornado move through, and we got all their jets in Airside Center and safely stored away. And they moved here, I believe, back in November. They're over in Airside Center now. For all the people, especially with the airshow folks, airshow operations, they'll see on the south side, we used to have Kidron back there to make truck bodies for Red Baron and refrigerated truck bodies. We've now opened that back up to the airfield. We're an airport. We want to do aviation things here, obviously. So they're over there. All the 8 aircraft. They've got 5 L-39s, a T-33, a MiG-17. I believe another one's coming. A couple A-4s are coming, a couple T-28s. And some other things that we can talk about later, but we're really excited to have them over there, and they're a great asset to this facility now. And once they all are out of maintenance here shortly in February, you're going to start seeing them 2-3 times a day taken off out of this facility to go over to Avon Park and practice. And we're also working in conjunction with Black Diamond and the FAA to put a permanent aerobatic box over the facility that we can turn on and turn off. Obviously, during the Sun and Fun event, that's a temporary aerobatic box that's under waiver for the event, but we're working to have a permanent aerobatic box here that we can turn on, let them go up and fly, and then come back down, and so that'll be a unique thing for us. Also, just some projects looking forward to this next year, right after Sun and Fun. We're getting ready. I know we've been talking about this for a long, long time here, but we're already in the works to move the instrument landing system off of runway 529. So all of that is in the works, and we're looking right now, the timeline is to have that commissioned for September of this year. So everything that's out there on 5 will be gone. We'll open up that space. The Malzar will be gone, all the equipment, and it will be a nice environment over there, especially for the vintage folks, so we look forward to that. Also, Taxiway Bravo, we've worked diligently with the FAA. We're going to have the full extension to Taxiway Bravo along 523 in place before Sun and Fun next year. So we're actually going for authorization to get the design work done here with the City Commission, not this Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, and we'll receive our grant from the FAA in July this summer, and we'll start construction right away. So this will be in place, ready to go. This is something we worked really, really hard for, and will really benefit Sun and Fun during the event to have a new access in and out. You won't have that traffic moving up and down 523 anymore. It can just be a static area, and really, like Wayne likes to say, move us light years ahead. And also with that, it will help us also, obviously, during our weather event last year, we had obviously a lot of water issues over by the Warbird ramp. It will allow us to get in the Warbird ramp, square off that southeastern corner, fix a lot of the drainage over there. There's a lot of electrical things out there that are above ground. We'll put below ground. There will be permanent installations, so we can really get into everything that's over there and really raise the level of what's going on, especially around the Warbird ramp. So that'll be great. Also, obviously with commercial service coming on board, we have to have a higher level of service out here from the airport to our users and customers on the airport. So we now have 4 operations personnel that we've hired in the last year, and I'd like to bring them up here real quick and introduce them. First, we have Brett Fay. He came to us. I believe I introduced him last year and kind of put him on the spot and made him talk. So he said, please don't do that to me again this year, so I won't do that to him. But he came to us from Aspen last year, right before Sun and Fun. So talk about throwing someone to the wolves with all the activity that we had going on. Then Sun and Fun, then a tornado. I was just, but he's got a lot of experience. While he's been here, and he better not leave us for all that. but we're happy to have him here. We also have Mike Handerhan, who used to be the airport director down at Tamiami. He was also the FAA Southern Region General Aviation Airport Manager of the Year. So he just retired this past year. He's been volunteering here with Sun and Fun for the last several years, and he's obviously a tremendous asset to have him here and be part of our team. We also have Adam Lunn, who has actually been volunteering here with the home builds for the last 10 years at Sun and Fun, and I like to call him Wonder Boy. We were working with TSA on a project. We had to do some threat assessments for people or whatever, and he put this access program together. I said, if you can do that, we're going to hire you. Well, he got it done, and we hired him, so here he is. And then also, last but not least, we have Daniel Grimm. He came to us. He actually lives on the west end of the airport. He had interviewed actually for Brett's position. We were lucky enough to get Brett, but now we also were lucky enough to bring Dan on board as well. And he actually had, I believe, 6 years at Fort Lauderdale International Airport as well. So a tremendous amount of experience here. They've all done a phenomenal job. And I just want to say, they're here to help you all. Okay? They're not here to come down and say, you can't be doing this. They are here to help you. If you need anything, if you see them in our vehicles, you let us know. We're here to support you in every way that we can. And also, I just got back from Atlanta yesterday, and on Thursday we won the FAA Southern Region Runway Safety Award for the 8 states. For the 8-state region, for all of our efforts, obviously, with this taxiway work to eliminate the hot spots, starting our operations department, and unfortunately putting in all this new fencing and whatnot, but really at the end of the day, it really improves the environment here at the airport and the level of safety and everything that we do. And they have done a tremendous job, and I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done. Now, thank you. Yep. Now we get in our good TSA stuff, and I will let Nan come up and talk a little bit about this. And again, I can't stress enough, it will be transparent. Again, we worked very, very hard with them. We had TSA here a couple weeks ago. They actually said to us, oh, we were pretty nervous coming in, and they felt totally relieved when they left. And Nan and Wayne together will go through some of this. But really, again, it's going to be transparent to everybody. Nothing's really going to change. The biggest thing is we're what we like to call max protect on the terminal ramp where the big 737 will be. But the rest of it's really business as usual, but they'll get into some of that here shortly. And again, thank you all for all your efforts. Thank you for the opportunity to be in front of you today. And let's have a great Sun and Fun in 2012. Thank you.